put himself in the Yusho reps. Hibayama, he wants the left hand inside. What tactic today will Takayasu employ? Pass away, pouring away, goes forward and beautifully worked as he picks up a lovely thrust out win. Skidashi with Takayasu. That takes him to 4-1. Hibayama drops to 2-3. So, wondering what the plan was going to be for Takayasu today. Slap down attempt there, going backwards. Not a good move by Hibayama. Takayasu makes the most of it, then starts the thrusting attack. With all his pressure, classic thrusting to win by Skidashi. Daisho takes on Mitakeumi. Rokenda Komusumi on the left. Pick up his first win of the Basho. The other Komusumi, Mitakeumi, going fairly nicely at 3-1. Daisho has won the last 3 times they've met. But Mitakeumi does have the overall edge. Good start, almost slipped there, Daisho, but he follows through with excellent pushing. He wins by Oshidashi. There's win number 1 for the January tournament winner. Picks up his first win on day 5, drops Mitakeumi to 3-2. We know he can do it. And a popular win with the crowd at the Kokugigan. Almost slipped here, or appeared to slip there. But he basically got held up by the chest of Mitakeumi. Now he starts his pushing and thrusting attack. And moves forward well to beat Mitakeumi, the fellow Komusumi today. It's Takarafuji and Takanosho. Man on the left looking for his first win as well. Takes on 3-1 Takanosho. Takanosho, Sekiwake, has beaten Takarafuji the last 3 times they've met. Takarafuji won the first time they met. Being hit by Takanosho, taking Takarafuji back. He just tries to fend off from the elbows, but it's all Takanosho. He wins by Oshidashi. Pick up win number 4. Still winless. Here's Takarafuji. Confident sumo by the Sekiwake today. All defensive work by Takarafuji. Takarafuji gets taken back, then he tries to block with the forearms. Hazuoshi under the armpit by Takanosho. Stands Takarafuji high. Eventually, he's pushed out. A little bit of head work there as well. Now, the bout of the day that most people have been looking forward to, Terunofuji and Onosho. There's the history between the two, and surprisingly, Onosho has the edge in their head-to-head. Let's have a look at January. This for the outside. Thrusts away, Onosho. As Terunofuji going back, he's got a double inside grip. Takes him to the edge and takes him out. That was January. So he needs to do more of the same today. See if he can get an inside position. Stand Terunofuji high and back. Make sure he doesn't move left or right. So Terunofuji looking to stay undefeated. False start. Terunofuji doesn't agree. Mijiro says, get the fist down. Too happy about that, but anyway. Maybe got him down there either. Straight away, in and under is Onosho. Same as the last tournament. And has Terunofuji in trouble, is trying to twist away, trying to throw a tech, and out goes Terunofuji. Onosho hands the first loss of the tournament to Terunofuji. Onosho picks up his first win on the dojo. Previous win was at Vicencio. And maintains that small dominance over Terunofuji. They've met 5 times now, he's won 4 of them. Not inside straight away, but there it's a Motozashi double inside grip. This is what he did to him last time. Now he's got a bit more lateral movement today, Terunofuji, trying to twist away like he did yesterday against Meisei. He can't pull off the throw, the arms are way higher, and Onosho wins at the edge. Disappointment for the Sekiwake. Now Shodai and Wakataka Kage. Shodai 2-2. Looking to lack confidence. They only met once before, he did win. He needs to move forward strongly, Shodai. He's pulling the shoulders back at the Tachiai. He does it again today, charges into Wakataka Kage, who gets an inside grip with the right. Now he moves forward and takes him out. Wakataka Kage has now beaten the 2 Ozeki he's met. He beat Takakeisho for his only win. Now win number 2 is another Ozeki Shodai. That drops him to 2-3. Massive result for the Maegashira 2. Well, early pressure from Shodai. There's that stand-up Tachiai. But he does move forward. Hand placement is okay. He gets the right in, and he moves forward well, but not with enough urgency. He gets an outside grip briefly, but as he pulls here, he basically pulls Wakataka Kage into his own chest. Not good sumo from Shodai, but a great result for Wakataka Kage. It's Takakeisho and Hokutofuji. Takakeisho at 3-1. He's only lost to Wakataka Kage. Hokutofuji bloodied yesterday and just above the eye. And he's done well. Here's a win already over an Ozeki. Can he make it another one here? Good hit, both men thrusting away. Takakeisho moves forward well. Retreating is Hokutofuji, moving to his right. Now he rallies back. Now he starts to take Takakeisho out the line. He's down he goes. Oshi Chaoshi win for Hokutofuji. Unfortunately, opened up that cut with the headbutt to Takakeisho. A loss. So that's back-to-back Ozeki losses in this tournament today. Shodai, now Takakeisho. And Hokutofuji beats another Ozeki. The sights and sounds of rapid sumo. Now the final bout here on day 5. Meisei takes on Ozeki Asanoyama. Well, can Asanoyama find some Ozeki pride here? Stop this streak of Ozeki losing. History against Meisei. They've had 5 times. He's won 4 of them. One at the edge yesterday. Meisei troubled Terunofuji. In quickly is Meisei. Blocked. Left and right. Asanoyama gets his favorite grip. Left hand out, right hand in. And he wins by Yorikiri. That's Asanoyama's sumo at its best. Meisei tried twisting with the hips but couldn't escape. So Asanoyama does hold the Ozeki pride intact. And he ends the day with a win to take him to 4-1. That's the sumo that we saw Asanoyama make his way to Ozeki. And he did it again today. Fuji, Takanosha, Takayasu, and three more. Come back tomorrow for more Grand Sumo highlights. Bye for now. Let's review today's lesson. The phrase "dondo" means one after another. Use "承知いたしました" when responding to a client's request. おー、悪くないね are words of praise.
今日のクイズやってみてどうでしたか？
どんどんとかの使い方とかも、はい、勉強になりました。はい、ありがとうございます。
よかったです。
何が勉強しないといけないこれからよくわかりました。
どうぞ楽しんで、いろいろと仲間を作りながら、仕事に役立つ日本語を覚えていってほしいと思います。
お二人ともどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you for joining us. From our studio in Tokyo, this is NHK Newsline. As the unrest continues in Myanmar, the country's ambassador to the United Nations is urging the world body to toughen sanctions against the military and to not recognize its rule over the nation.
The international community should extend or should take strongest possible action against the military regime by all means.
Chao Mo-tun was appointed to his post by the civilian government, but was reportedly dismissed after last month's coup. So far, he has refused to step down and continues to criticize the military. The military has accused him of betraying his country and has charged him with high treason. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will meet his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in China on Monday, adding to signs that Russia is embracing relations with Beijing as ties with Washington deteriorate. The Philippines says more than 200 Chinese fishing vessels have dropped anchor at a coral reef inside its exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. A government statement on Saturday said the Coast Guard spotted about 220 Chinese vessels moored at the reef on March 7th. It believes they were manned by Chinese maritime militia personnel. The statement added that the Chinese vessels conducted no actual fishing activities at the reef and had their floodlights turned on at night. Photos taken by the Coast Guard show large vessels moored in line formation and fitted with what appear to be cranes. The reef is about 300 kilometers west of Palawan Island. Manila launched a protest after China in January passed a law that enables its Coast Guard to carry weapons. Philippines officials say Beijing may have sent the vessels to judge their response. Turning to the latest on the coronavirus situation here in Japan. Tokyo and 3 surrounding prefectures are no longer under a state of emergency. The emergency measure had been in effect since early January, when the number of daily cases was surging, but have come down about 80% since then. Tokyo officials confirmed 256 new positive tests on Sunday. 4 people also died.
I want everyone to recognize that we need to avoid a rebound of infections. I am asking for continued cooperation to prevent a fourth wave.
The end of the state of emergency comes at a time when people typically gather to celebrate cherry blossom season. Some parks have erected temporary fences to prevent outdoor parties. Traditionally, cherry trees are lit up at night, but events like these are being canceled or scaled back to deter large crowds. The government is continuing to request restaurants and bars to close early and companies to encourage employees to work remotely. Japan's health minister says the government will continue measures to prevent a resurgence.
We'll ask officials to set up PCR testing centers in urban areas such as train stations in order to catch any signs of an outbreak. Through such measures, we will work to prevent an explosive increase in case numbers.
On the vaccination front, Tamura says vaccines developed by AstraZeneca and Moderna may be approved by the end of May. Inoculations with the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine started last month. Healthcare workers are being prioritized, with seniors slated to be next up. Across the country, more than 1,100 new positive tests were reported on Sunday. Japanese electronics maker Toshiba has made a leap toward reducing carbon footprint with a new CO2 collection and conversion device. Toshiba says the processing speed is the fastest in the world. The new device turns CO2 into carbon monoxide with chemical reactions involving electricity. Carbon monoxide can serve as a raw material for products such as aircraft fuel. Senior Toshiba researcher Kitagawa Ryota says the technology will be key to enabling carbon neutrality.
We can expect a significant reduction in CO2 emissions by combining this system with renewable energy.
For now, the equipment can process 1 ton of CO2 per year, but they're aiming for bigger versions that could slash emissions at factories and other facilities. The tsunami that hit northeastern Japan gave up all hope of teaching again. But then she received some happy news. Composer and pianist Nishimura Yukie brought Suzuki a piano that had been donated. For the first time in 9 months, the warm sound of piano music again filled Suzuki's classroom.
一曲聴いて、Nishimura played one piece for us. We all laughed as we listened.
Nishimura had been prompted into action by seeing a little girl being interviewed on television soon after the disaster. When the girl was asked if there was anything she wished she could get back, she just said, "My piano."
So many people had nowhere to live or had lost family members, but that little girl just wanted her piano back.
Nishimura set up a project called Smile Piano 500. So far, she has sent 62 donated pianos to people in affected areas. The 62nd recipient was Kinno Tatsunori. Kinno has played since he was a child, but his piano was washed away in the tsunami, along with both his parents and his sister.
Looking back, the piano played an essential role for our family. It was always a part of our daily life.
The piano he received from Nishimura has brought him fresh hope. His 3 daughters, who were all born after the disaster, are also learning to play.
I believe pianos can help deepen communication within families and calm people's emotions. If pianos are helping people in their daily lives, that would make me very happy.
Nishimura is continuing her program to deliver hope and smiles along with the pianos. Sugaya Rinka, NHK World, Rikuzen Takata. And now for fourth weather, we turn from meteorologist, Setsi Wadae. Hello, Setsi. Let's start here in Japan. We saw strong wind and heavy rain near Japan in some parts of the country. Is this condition, are we seeing any more of this?
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of it for your Monday as the weather conditions are still just sticking around, especially across central and northern parts of Japan. So do look out for some slightly windy weather and also possibilities of more showers to come your way. And the wintery pressure pattern that is basically been affecting much of eastern and central Japan has led to unstable weather conditions, basically dominating much of the Asian peninsula, leading to 360 millimeters of rainfall, setting a record for March towards Mount Amadi, also towards Mount Kanai as well. Similar conditions have been experienced there up north, gusts of 105 kilometers per hour. And as I mentioned, that pattern is slightly going to shift all the way towards the eastern side, but it will still be leading to those uncomfortable weather conditions. Possibilities of stronger winds to continue, and also heavy rainfall could be slightly shifting away, but there will still be some showers coming your way in certain regions. What you need to look out for is possibilities of landslide. Remember, we had an earthquake just a couple of days ago, so the soils are quite loose, so it could still be quite dangerous for you, particularly along slopey areas. You'll still feel some cooler temperatures for a day and a half or so, but then by Wednesday, Thursday, things will go back to about those lower 20s towards Tokyo. For now, enjoy about 18 degrees and a bit of a wet day coming up. Then the rest of Asia is going to be sustainable society.
Swedish firms are pushing ahead with environmentally friendly business models, showing that sustainable practices can mean sustainable success.
IKEA is taking such efforts around the world. As of February, they had upcycling outlets in 12 countries, including Japan. The company aims to include upcycled products in all its stores by 2020, and the denim industry is rethinking some of its manufacturing practices. More than 70 leading companies are following guidelines for sustainability set by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. They include manufacturing processes such as dyeing that do not further the environment. Some of the companies are already selling jeans, others are working to make them available by May. Our next story is about a startup in northeastern Japan that is turning to science to create an environmentally friendly fabric. The company
すごくいいし。地関係の大工さんもいれば、してるので、やっぱりそういう人たちと連携を図りながらこういうものをどんどんイノベーションしていって、でコミット改良して、こう売りするようになってですよね。まあ問題でもあるんだけども、大きなチャンスだよね。チャンスですね。生かせることが大事です。今考えてるのが必要な時期だと思うんですよ。ある種見えなくなってきたのが多かった。それは間違いない、個人的に。橋本さんの、言ってくれてることによって僕もある種の、励みになってるし、また僕もまた一つ二つぐらい見えてくると思うんですね。
In this time of hardship, Paul was ever seeking new opportunities to save his business and the region he so loves. Sagamihara City, in Tokyo's neighboring prefecture of Kanagawa. It's here that the Novinia Children's Canteen was once bustling with kids and their parents. This February, early in the morning, the staff is busy preparing takeout meals. The canteen is run by Ghana-born Tony Justice.
おはようございます。今日はまたね、元気でみんなで頑張ってるんですけど、唐揚げです。はい、これすごく美味しいよ。揚げたて。すごい美味しいよ。食べたいで。甘い人参。はい、人参グラッセ。これ子供が大好きです。うまい人参。また美味しい料理がいっぱいできるから。また見に来てください。はい、じゃあ今日も頑張りましょう。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。
5 years ago, with donations and government financing, Tony opened this canteen that serves free meals to single-parent families and children who have to eat at home. Tony also organizes fun activities for the kids to enjoy, like English lessons, storybook readings, and African drums jam sessions. However, in March 2020, the coronavirus pandemic forced him to temporarily close the canteen. Refusing to give up on those in need, he continues to make takeaway meals for free 4 times a month. On certain days, around 250 people line up in front of the diner. As the pandemic lingers on, in addition to children, Tony sees more and more parents who come for support as well.
今年入って結構増えてるんですね。人が結構増えてるんですけども、親子連れとか年関係なくも来てるんですけどもね、遠くからオープンする前に1時間前とか1時間半前とかね、親子がもう本当に入り口で待ってるの。これがやっぱり本当に深刻だね。話を聞いてるときはやっぱり、コロナでやっぱり仕事が減ったりとか、会社が潰れたりとか、1日3回のご飯が1回になったりとかもするですね。で栄養面をちゃんとしっかりとってないやっぱり心と体のバランスが崩れる場合もあるし、でそれがちょっと心配だなと。
Wishing to provide more than just takeout meals, Tony also gives away some of the fruit and vegetables he receives from local farmers and retailers.
Wow.
Children's Canteen this spring.
公園でも広場で子どもたちの笑顔を見て、このキッチンカーを使って一緒にまた子ども食堂をやろうと思ってる。なかなか来れない人たちのところ近くまで行って温かいご飯を作って美味しいご飯を食べてもらうような形にしたいなと思ってる。2年または3年あれば十分かなと思って、そしたら道が開いてくれると思ったんですけども、やっぱりやめれないんですけどね。でコロナも入ってきたんですよ。でこれこそやっぱり頑張って支援しなくちゃならない。だけどやっぱり私もそんなにお金持ってるわけじゃないんで、子ども食堂を継続していくにはやっぱりみんな地域や本当に社会が一つになってお互いに助け合いながら持続をしていくがやっぱり大事だなと思うんですけどね。
Shinjuku Ward in Tokyo. Here are many prep schools helping foreign students enter Japanese universities. Amid fierce competition, one school called Akamon Education rapidly rose to success. Thanks to its high placement rate, in only 3 years, it became one of the most popular. However, the pandemic is preventing newly registered students to enter Japan, and the school had to momentarily close its doors. Determined to keep her business going, company president Tian Xiaohan organized online lessons. But she and her team were not yet out of the woods. In July 2020, Xiaohan came up with a new plan. With a population of over 15 million, Guangzhou is the largest city in southern China. Xiaohan moved here temporarily. To be ready for when students will be able to go to Japan, she decided to focus her efforts on recruiting new ones in China. She visits a college specializing in business and hotel management that counts about 15,000 students. Chinese wishing to study in Japan must first take a language test. Xiaohan proposes having her school train the college's students.
其他的就是万一他的语言如果没有的话，我们来做日语的支援，把日语这边需要解决，然后包括他们的一些入学考啊，所有的一系列的面试什么的都是我们来做，然后负责把这个学生送到那边去，就大概像签这种3方的，然后语言这地方我们来管，面试我们来管，大概是这样子。那这个你们就是相当于一个，就是连接两方的一个学校的中间桥梁。对对对。
Since coming to Guangzhou, Xiaohan has visited more than 30 schools and companies to find new students. Her own time studying at a university in Japan was a life-changing experience for her. Xiaohan's wish to help others like her who hope to one day attend a Japanese university is the driving force behind her work. She rents an office in downtown Guangzhou. For students in China, she opened a branch school here. She started classroom lessons this January. Her decision was prompted by students' demand to attend classes in person instead of online.
真的是很辛苦的，可能不光是对我吧，应该对所有人都非常辛苦。所以那段时间对我来讲，就既是一种不想回忆的部分，也是一个动力点吧。要想把这个事情做好，更多的能够帮到社会上更多需要这个需求的同学也好、家长也好、家庭也好，其实还是偏
charge of the Tokyo school during Xiaohan's absence is her close friend of over 10 years, Koga Misaki. As almost all of the staff is now working remotely, she comes to the school alone. Misaki plays an important role in managing the school. She and Xiaohan have daily online meetings.
从所有的课程上的考试的来做，就把这东西借着这个机会，我们让他们的工作的内容变得专门化和细化。是的，这个我来报，也是这个是什么科长还是什么？
Last year, when Xiaohan had difficulty coping with the unusual circumstances and suddenly fell ill, it was Misaki who took her to the hospital.
時はずっと泣いてましたし、心だけは壊れないでっていうのは常に言ってたほど結構ギリギリでした。私学塾は私の命だから、命に変えてでも守りたいっていうのをずっと言っていて、でその時に励まし合いながら、絶対大丈夫だよっていうなんか言ってましたね。
The two women first met when Misaki was studying at Xiaohan's University in China. They learned each other's language. Later, Xiaohan came to study in Japan. As the two spent more and more time together, they became best friends. Then Xiaohan opened her prep school in Tokyo. Worried for her friend working tirelessly, Misaki decided to help her run the business. The pandemic poses challenges unlike anything the two of them have seen. Misaki works hard to fulfill the role her friend entrusted her with.
こっちで問題がないようにやっていくっていうのが使命なので、進んだらいいですね。
There appears to finally be a silver lining to their struggles. This January, students who had been taking lessons online passed their entrance exams. And Xiaohan's efforts in Guangzhou are paying off. Inquiries from prospective students are increasing.
没那么感兴趣，不在你的人生规划当中、职业规划当中不大想涉及这个方面。到底对哪个方向比较好？你自己有想过未来想做什么吗？电视台工作。这个过程做完了，我相信明年合格的就是你了。后年吧，后年。
With Xiaohan's work in Guangzhou getting busier than ever, 8 months have passed by without her returning to Japan. To be able to come back this spring, she continues to recruit new students. Xiaohan lives with her mother, Han Lihua. She moved all the way from her family home in the province to support her daughter. Working hard all day long as company president, Xiaohan finds a bit of time to unwind. Nothing like a chat with your best friend.
你最近还好吗？我最近还可以吧，就是压力比较大吧。就我们最大的点就是压力，やりたいこととやれることの間がギャップがあるから。
Okay, I need to rest.
那个时候你还记得吗
？I sit for the day.
那个时候比现在。
Dizzy.
对呀，这是怎么过来的？
Rest up.
刚刚我妈说3年以内。
Rest up. Thank you all for watching me.